Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, October 8th, 2019, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Um, if you've been watching these videos lately, I've been just screaming about how terrible these stocks have been. And I've said that, we tend to do terrible when the Dow is rising, and we actually do much better when it's falling. And that certainly um, was verified today. The Dow took a hit today, officially ending up down 314 points. It started out bad, as almost every day has for the last 2 to 3 weeks. With the Dow opening down, we had 8 positions coming in. I think we were $2,000 or something negative on the close yesterday from buys that we had made yesterday on this weak run up. And but we got out of those with negative $5,000. So that was just more of the same. But what happened was, as the Dow started to rise here after a couple hours, you know, we got into a few things, but our equity was negative, and I'm just figuring, okay, we have another lose day. But then in the last 90 minutes or so, the Dow really started taking a hit and ended up closing down here, not quite at these lows over here, but pretty close to it. And during this 90-minute descent, we started to really gain in equity, and we ended up closing out 8 positions, not closing out those positions, but having 8 positions in open trade. 7 were positive, only 1 was negative, and we were positive over $12,000 on the close. And that equity just kept rising and rising as the Dow was falling. And of course, we're short the market on 2 stocks. We're into 3 gold stocks, I believe, and 1 energy stock. So all those tend to move inversely to the overall market, and that accounts for these profits and all this positive activity. So as far as I'm concerned, I want to see the Dow go down some more, because I think it will benefit us in the long run. I will show you 3 of those stocks that we have done well in. This first one was, this is the only one I'm showing you that was an exit today. We had bought this yesterday, end of the first hour. This is Overstock, OSTK, and then we got out here on the open. It gapped up in our favor for a change, and we got out here and we took $3,200 in profit in Overstock. This has been a real good stock for us, Overstock. And then, as I told you, we have long positions in TVIX and UVXY. Both those are in effect short positions on the overall market. They gapped up this morning with that down gap in the Dow. This is TVIX. It actually went against us most of the day, but then as the Dow collapsed that last 90 minutes, it gained a lot of ground and are holding $3,400 in profit in TVIX on the close. And then finally, this is another stock that's been really good for us. This is HOV, which is Hovnanian Enterprises. And we had a position, we had bought this on Monday with 2-3 hours to go. We exited this shortly after the open with just marginal profits. Then we had this big spike up about an hour and a half later and bought this thing right at the top of the spike. It looked like a horrible place to buy. It went against us initially for the first hour, but then it turned around and just really screamed the rest of the day, and we're holding $4,200 positive open trade equity in Hovnanian Enterprises. So that looks like a really good one. So in spite of our initial losses this morning, I'm happy with holding $12,000 plus in open trade equity going into tomorrow, and I'm hopeful that this might be the start of better trading for us. We really need it. This is Trader Bob signing off. Be back here tomorrow on Wednesday.